am B, and this is B's Intuition today. So I've been trying to sort of theme these readings in the month of December, at least my longer readings, around the themes of Yule. You know what? I got one better. How is your intuition on point in this time of darkness? How about that? Because we're still in the period of darkness before the light, the sun starts to return to us in terms of Yule themes. And I feel like that might be more interesting, is like, how is your intuition like very much spot on during this time of darkness? And the darkness is, I've mentioned this before, I think of darkness as like that moon card, you know, that kind of themes, the themes that surround the moon card, you know, things being hidden, things being unknown. They're like hidden, but they will eventually come to light. And so I feel like I want to see, where is your intuition spot on, you know, during this time of darkness? Yes, let's go with that one. Okay. Please and thank you, Spirit. Let's just dive right in. Please and thank you, Spirit. How is the collective's intuition spot on during this time of darkness? Please and thank you, Spirit. How is the collective's intuition spot on during this time of darkness? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, I think that's meant to go. Okay, we'll take those. Oh my goodness. Ooh, okay. Hey, okay. First, we have the Tower card. Then we have the Eight of Cups. And then we have the Eight of Wands. So 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Eights in general could be significant for somebody out there. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. That's a lot of happiness right there. Ooh, let's just start clarifying. Starting with that Tower card, please and thank you. That literally just flew out. That was insane. I barely even started to shuffle. Okay. Please and thank you, Spirit. How is the collective's intuition spot on during this time of darkness? Please and thank you. Oh my. Feels like your intuition is correct in a lot of ways. Maybe you don't even realize. This is actually so cool, dude. Okay. That and then that and then. Whew. Okay. Well, clarifying that Tower card, we have the Judgment coming out in this direction. That was the one that popped out like crazy. And then we have the Knight of Swords upright. The King of Cups came out in the reverse. This is interesting to me. But then that's immediately followed by the Justice card. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Cups. So there's something about your happiness that I feel like is going to, you're gonna be so happy soon. Like, that's what I'm getting. Especially because we have the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the other deck, and then the 9 of Cups here. That's beautiful energy. Very beautiful. You're definitely manifesting during this time. I don't know if you realize this or not, but you're going to be coming into a time of a lot of happiness. And I feel like you should thank yourself for coming into this time of happiness. I feel like you're setting yourself up for that happiness. And it could be completely subconscious. I feel like once you get to a certain point, maybe in terms of like speaking, like positive affirmations to yourself, rewiring your brain to think more positively, things can, you know, flow into your life much easier when you're in that sort of steady way of thinking or being in that vibration. So the Tower indicates that something is coming in to shake things up a little bit for you. I feel like you sense this coming, or it could also be just like a major change. Something changes in a very drastic way. I don't feel bad energy with this Tower card at all. Especially because it ended being clarified with the Justice card. I think whatever this is, it's going to give you a great sense of justice. And I feel like with the balanced scales here, it's going to balance things for you. Since the Tower card was originally clarified by the Judgment card coming out in this direction. Oh, it's you have like an incredibly strong connection to spirit. You may be receiving direct downloads from spirit because there's something that spirit wants to communicate to you. I'm also being drawn to the mountains in the background of this picture with the Judgment card, and the mountains are supposed to indicate like the tougher parts of our journey, maybe overcoming obstacles or overcoming times of difficulty. I feel like that is not what your path is going to be. I feel like that's in the past. You overcoming a lot of stuff. You having to go through those difficulties and overcome those obstacles. And it's like, there feels like through that process you trusted spirit to guide you through that. Maybe you felt spirit was with you every step of the way. And I feel like there's some sort of payoff that is going to come in for you. And I feel like you're going to be very eager to allow this, whatever this is, this blessing or good news, positive change. You're so ready for something to change in a very positive way. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. And maybe you've had your times of maybe when you are going through that struggle or that difficulty, you may have had moments where you're like, is this ever going to pay off? Or maybe you had your down moments when you started to think a little bit more pessimistically. But I feel like spirit is here to tell you that keep going down this path and things are going to turn out great for you. And I also feel like spirit kind of wants to maybe help your emotions in some way, like help you keep them at a higher vibration or something. Like keeping a positive attitude. Maybe spirit really wants to encourage you to step into a positive mindset, positive attitude. And if you have been doing so, I feel like spirit wants to say that they're very proud of you for doing that, because it's not easy, especially when you're going through it. But I do feel you trusting spirit. And maybe at times it felt like a blind trust. Like I'm not really seeing the results, but I trust that the results will come to me in due time. And then that's immediately followed by the Knight of Swords. So that is incoming. It's an incoming message and it's coming in quickly. So yes, I think that whatever this is going to be positive and it's going to be happening sooner than you realize. And yeah, you may not even, you most likely actually, you probably won't expect it to come in the timing that it does, because there is a little bit of surprise, even if you feel like it's coming through your intuition. I feel like you just may not be realizing how it's going to come in and in which sort of timing. I do find it interesting that Knight of Swords is followed by the King of Cups, but the King of Cups came out in the reverse. So the swords deal a little bit more with information, truth, thoughts. There's a lot that goes into the swords. So the Knight of Swords, when it comes to swords, the characters that we have in the swords suit, they tend to be more logical than emotional. So I'm almost getting that this King of Cups could be showing up in a more logical sort of energy rather than emotional. But it feels like they have the capacity to be very emotional, but it could be that they're reserved with that emotion. And maybe it's because they have a message for you. So maybe they're trying to I don't know why, but I was just about to get the message, or I was just getting the message of they're trying to be professional. That's interesting. I don't know how. I mean, it could be maybe a coworker or a boss or something. Somebody that might have feelings for you, but they want to keep it like, they want to play it cool, it feels like. Even if they are coming in fast with some sort of communication that switches things up or changes things up for you. And the reason why I'm not really getting the negative parts, like the shadow parts of the King of Cups, even though it came out in the reverse, I'm honestly, right now, this card gives me the sense of like fear. Like they're afraid to show their emotions. Or not, maybe not even completely afraid or fearful, but necessarily, but like maybe even hesitant to express those things, especially if they don't know how you feel. Because it doesn't feel like a bad shadow aspects of King of Cups. It feels actually very beautiful, but I do think that this person, whoever they are, they're stepping more into that logical, maybe even professional sort of energy, rather than, I mean, it could also be a friend, potentially. Maybe they want to keep it platonic at first, before expressing how they feel about you. But yeah, the positive energy I feel very much, especially because the Justice card follows that King of Cups in the reverse. And I feel like if this was a King of Cups in the shadow aspects, I don't think that you would be feeling a sense of justice after communicating to a shadow aspects King of Cups. I think that this is somebody that's going to be bringing you news that leads to this strong sense of justice here. And I feel like it's going to feel very validating if you feel this in your intuition right now. Maybe you're just not sure exactly of like all the details, but it feels like there's something kind of telling you through your intuition that there's a big change coming in for you, and it's going to be positive, and it's going to help you feel like, yeah, like justice has been done in a given situation or in your life. I feel like it's more grander though than just like a specific situation. It could be like a karmic sense of justice. It could also be like a legitimate sense of justice if you have been wronged in the past. With that Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck, it's also going to lead you to happiness or contentment. This honestly feels like maybe something happening in your career in a positive way. I'm also getting that maybe if this is like a coworker, it doesn't even have to be that they have romantic feelings for you, that they want to keep hush hush, but maybe even like they want, or they feel maybe more of like a familial sort of love for you. Like they see you as part of their family, but they may feel like that's kind of weird to mention, or that might be too extreme or too intense to tell you. So they may just be keeping that on the down low, but they may have like a lot of like love for you in that sort of way, where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of them, or, you know, I feel so close to them in that way. Because I do get this sense of like contentment on your own, or like within your reality. I feel like you're going to be surrounded by things that make you happy. Okay, I think I want to move on to the Eight of Cups, but I'll definitely circle back to that if I have more questions. Okay, let's go on to the Eight of Cups now. Please and thank you, Spirit. How is the collective's intuition spot on during loud truck? Anyways, how is the collective's intuition spot on during this time of darkness? Please and thank you, Spirit. have? So, clarifying that Eight of Cups, we have the King of Wands. The Hermit card came out in this direction. Then we have the Queen of Swords. You could have walked away from somebody that shows up as like a sort of King of Wands energy. Doesn't necessarily have to be that they are a fire sign, but somebody that shows up as that sort of confident, passionate sort of energy. You could have walked away from somebody, and that choice to walk away from somebody or something has encouraged this person to take a deep look at themselves and do some internal reflection, thinking, feeling, feels like in solitude. I feel like the Queen of Swords is representing you in this scenario, because there's so much clarity of mind, and I feel like that could be your intuition. Your intuition could be telling you that somebody has started to make changes for the better as a result of you walking away from them. I do feel a sense of being maybe kind of guarded towards this person, especially if they try to come back in before you feel like they've had enough time to properly heal, work on themselves, reflect. But you're still open to hear what this person has to say, if they have changed. I feel like you both have kind of gone through hermit phases, so that could be something that you actually bond over. Also, bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups. So it is possible that if this King of Cups is interested in you romantically, and this King of Wands is also interested in you romantically, you may just have like a lot of options that are suddenly gravitating towards you, and that could definitely catch you off guard, and maybe you would be a little bit guarded towards those types of interactions. But you just have like a BS detector, you know, inside of you. Like your intuition is very much spot on, especially when it comes to dealing with other people. I feel like you can read other people's energies very well. And I think that that is slightly intimidating to some people. But I feel like it's, you know, it's good though at the same time, because it's like your intuition is spot on. I feel like you're the type of person where it's like your intuition is maybe even rarely wrong, you know, like every once in a while maybe you get it wrong, but I feel like overall, especially when it comes to dealing with people, I feel like you know people or humans, or you know, I feel like you understand human behavior and you understand mindsets that go into maybe people's actions. You could be very much like interested in psychology and like learning how people work. And I feel like that interest or that knowledge that you've gained in that department helps you to strengthen your intuition. But you could also experience moments of self-doubt. And I'm also getting this other message, this is interesting, where it's maybe it's easier maybe when you're one-on-one with somebody to read their energy, but maybe in group situations you're like a little bit less able to kind of pick up on people's energies, because you could be very sensitive to energies. And so maybe if the more people around you, or the more people that you're interacting with, it may get a little bit foggy and hazy, because it's like when you're one-on-one with a person, it's like, okay, I just have this one energy to kind of read. And if it's like a group setting, then you probably are, maybe a little bit more confused. Maybe things get a little bit mixed up a little bit. You could definitely be somebody that, even if you are good in social situations, you could be somebody that really craves their alone time to kind of recuperate, rejuvenate after maybe your social battery kind of running out in a given situation. I do get a lot of independent energy from you. That could be very much very attractive to people, because it feels like you support yourself in ways that show that you were very independent, and that maybe you don't need another person in your life. But I feel like that's only on the outside, though. I feel like that's not the whole story. I feel like that's how people perceive you. So it's not even necessarily that you don't want companionship, or that you don't need companionship, or whatever. But I feel like people kind of see you as somebody that maybe doesn't want that, or is okay with not receiving that. The energy of romance and being with other people in terms of close relationships. I'm curious to see what's underneath that Seven of Cups. The Devil. Yeah, you've dealt with a lot of toxicity in the past. And that's probably why you're so hesitant or cautious when it comes to navigating other people and their intentions. Also, this is interesting. I don't know why, but I feel like this Justice card could also represent you. I usually don't. Well, actually, I guess it depends on the card, but I don't usually associate the Justice card with a energy of a person. But I feel again, there's something about how you can see the truth in people. You can see through people. Maybe that's why this King of Cups wants to come in the reverse. Oh. Yeah, because it's if they show up as the King of Cups upright, you'll be able to see right through them, and they are afraid of that maybe, because maybe they're not ready to admit such feelings exist within them for you. And so maybe they kind of are going to be coming in to sort of hide that loving energy so that you don't catch wind of their feelings for you. But I feel with the way you're showing up with the Justice card and the Queen of Swords, you just have this way of seeing straight through people. So I feel you're going to be able to detect if somebody has feelings for you, even if they do try to hide it. I feel you're definitely that kind of person where you can see through even somebody's attempt to sort of cover up what they're feeling. Because I feel it's the energy, you can just, it's almost palpable. You can feel it when you're one-on-one with somebody. So it's even if this King of Cups comes in and tries to act like they don't have any feelings for you, I feel you're going to be I can see that you do, but okay. I feel you're gaining a reputation for expecting better for yourself and not staying with a broken situation or staying in a situation that doesn't fulfill you any longer. You're definitely somebody that takes control over their own life, and I feel that could be really attractive to people because there is a sense of knowing your worth and just knowing what is for you and what is not. There's a great sense of self that you give off, and I feel a lot of people are intimidated by that, but also it's attractive at the same time because you know your own mind. And I feel like when you know yourself like that, you're a much better communicator. Because it's like you don't have to take the time to make up your mind about a given situation. It's like if I'm going according to what I truly believe, what I truly want, like I will make the correct decisions and I will make them maybe even instantaneously or, quickly, because you have such a strong sense of self and what you want and what you desire and all of that. Like what is your, like all of your knowledge for yourself plays a part in that. You definitely may have had a rough past in love. And this could be any type of love as well, even familial love. You could have had toxic family members, or people just around you were not treating you very fairly. And so as a result of that, you may experience more confusion when it comes to detecting like who is for you, who is not, or like who is actually meaning the things that they say when it comes to maybe relationships. But it's almost like maybe that's not the whole truth, because again, there is that sense of knowing yourself. So it could even just be you know yourself detached from the ego, and then maybe your ego tries to come in and convince you, oh, you actually don't know yourself that well, or what if you make the wrong decision, or whatever. It's going to try and convince you that you don't know yourself, or that you don't know what to choose, or you don't know who to trust, or whatever. But it's like you truly do, but maybe your mind sort of psychs you out sometimes. I feel like you're definitely coming into a time of clarity. I feel like whatever this, whatever you have been feeling in terms of your intuition, but maybe you don't have physical evidence yet, it feels like it's going to be coming to light. And it will be very much confirming what you've already suspected or felt. Because I feel like there is that sudden change happening for you in that first part of the reading. Maybe a message that changes things up for you, that feeling of justice. And then with this second part of the reading, I feel like, it feels like this King of Wands could be trying to return after you left them behind, because they've done some work on themselves. And you may kind of feel this person may be getting ready to come back in, or to tell you about what they've been going through. It feels like this King of Wands could have spent a lot of time in solitude. And that's pretty interesting, because I feel like the King of Wands is known for being very social, whatever. And so if they took the time to isolate, be by themselves, and really get tapped into maybe their own intuition, their own sense of self, I feel like that's kind of significant, maybe a big deal for them. Maybe they don't usually do that. Maybe they don't usually take out the time to do that sort of stuff. But it could have been very necessary, especially, I feel like fire signs kind of get a reputation for being in the ego a little bit more. And so maybe this person could have been very much in their ego, and maybe, doing things out of a place of their ego being triggered or something. And so taking this time out to do that self-reflection could maybe help that person deconstruct their ego, and maybe not listen to that critical voice in their mind all the time, if that was like something that was like self-sabotaging for them. I feel like a sense of self-sabotage with this King of Wands that kind of had to be corrected by going into hermit mode, because it's like, I need to figure out why I'm doing this. I don't think it's like a conscious thing to self-sabotage, but yeah, it's like they had to go within to see like, where does this stem from? Where does this come from? This feeling of like, being so driven by the ego rather than maybe what I want, what I desire. Okay. Let's go into the Eight of Wands. Using Thank You, Spirit. How is the collective? The collective's intuition spot on for this time of darkness. In this time of darkness, using Thank You, Spirit. Okay. That seems like a lot, but I'll take it. Okay, now I see why that had to come out. Wowzers. Okay. So that came out and then that came out. Okay. Clarifying that Eight of Wands, we have the Knight of Pentacles coming out in this direction. So I think that Knight of Pentacles that's coming out in that direction is indicating somebody that does not want to take things slow. Or maybe they've been in a very slow energy for a long time and they're done with it. Because this is clarifying the Eight of Wands, which is fast forward movement and typically communication. Somebody here wants to communicate and they want to do it maybe quicker than they realized they wanted to do it at first, or maybe they feel like a sense of urgency now. But I feel like they're done being in this slowpoke sort of energy. And then, oh my gosh, these cards that came out are beautiful. We have the Two of Cups, Eight of Wands, so double confirmation for Eight of Wands. Somebody seriously wants to communicate something to you. The Fool card, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and then it's so interesting when this happens. The Seven of Cups and the Devil came out as well. So that was funny because it was at the bottom of the deck before, and then it popped out this time. Also, bottom of the deck, Nine of Cups, again at the bottom of the deck. So yes, again, happiness is coming in for you. You're going to be coming into a time of a lot of contentment and happiness. I'm getting, wow. Well, first off, somebody sees you as a very beautiful energy and they want to be giving to you just as much as you would give to them. They would definitely crave some sort of connection here that is equal give and take. I'm not even necessarily getting, I mean, the Two of Cups definitely represents like romantic love, but like, I don't know if it will go, yeah, because it feels like they still want to build towards something here. I don't think that they're going to be rushing you into commitment, but I feel like that's going to be at the forefront of their brain, or like it'll be like the known, if that makes sense. Like it will be obvious that this person, and they'll make it obvious that this person wants something along the lines of romance. But even though their energy is fast moving and eager, I don't see it as like them rushing you. I feel like they're almost rushing themselves more than anything, but not in a bad way, because this is ultimately what they want. And because of all of this that I'm getting through this part of the reading, it almost feels like the King of Wands energy, because it's like, okay, as a result of doing that internal work, self-reflection, isolating for a bit, figuring out what I want, now I have clarity and I can move forward quickly. It is possible that this King of Wands left something behind to kind of be on their own and do that self-reflection that was necessary. They could have left something or someone behind. And I don't feel like, well, it is possible that they did that to be with you, but I feel like more than anything, it was just necessary for them to be on their own, to think about things, feel them, like figure out things within themselves and feel their feelings and explore that on a personal level. Yeah, there could have been a situation or a person that could have muckied it up for them, keeping them from that sort of self-reflection energy. And so they had to maybe move themselves from that to be able to self-isolate, to do that internal work. Although this Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups could definitely be representing you, I'm almost even getting like maybe, well, there is a message coming through that maybe there is a same-sex attraction here. Doesn't have to be feminine, can be any gender, but it could be definitely a same-sex sort of connection. Or could be two people in their feminine energy. Doesn't even have to be specifically one gender or whatever. Like there's an openness to love now, it feels like. So maybe it's somebody going from maybe a more masculine energy into a feminine energy where they're more emotionally vulnerable. But yeah, this person's going to make it very clear that this is what they want. Okay. Yeah, I feel like they're going to make it clear that they want a commitment. Or they simply want to express their feelings in hopes that you will return those feelings. Because again, I'm not getting necessarily like the energy of let's get married tomorrow. I'm not getting that at all. I feel like this is a very rational person, even if they are showing up in a enthusiastic energy, or if they're coming in all of a sudden and maybe even slightly impulsive. I'm not sure, but like I don't feel like they're doing, like it feels like they're rushing themselves rather than rushing you, if that makes any sense. Yeah, because like that Knight of Pentacles coming out like that, I feel like maybe they've spent a lot of time thinking about this, or one day I'll do this, or it's just not the right timing, or it's just not the right circumstance, or blah blah blah. They could have been coming up with a bunch of excuses not to be in action mode, and now it's like they are ready to be in action mode. But it's them rushing themselves, because I feel like maybe they feel time is running out for them, potentially. Where it's like, if I don't act now, maybe I'll never act, and then I'll miss my chance, It feels like a logical sort of energy. Like, if I want this, I need to go towards it. And that may sound obvious, but we complicate things sometimes to such an extent. And I honestly feel like that could be what this person's realizing. Like, I've been overcomplicating this. I should just go for what I want, And with that Eight of Wands following that Two of Cups, it's like this card gives me clarity. The energy of it, especially with the way that the wands are, it looks very organized and like clear-headed. Like it feels like somebody is coming into a time of clarity about how they feel towards you. And that clarity is motivating them to come towards you, and quickly. The Fool card. I feel like this is the energy that they're going to be showing up in, where it's like, I really want to have a new beginning with you. But, it is the Fool card. It could indicate that somebody's younger than you, but not necessarily. There could be an age gap, but not necessarily. It's just like that energy of like the youthful optimist, It also could be indicating, again, like maybe the two of you still need to get to know each other. Because like maybe it's new in that way too, where it's like they may have these feelings, but maybe they don't know you well enough. And so they understand that even if they are super enthusiastic about a new beginning happening, that it's rational and logical for them to maybe embody, or not to rush that, rather. Like, they don't want to rush into this commitment, but they realize that they want it. And the Fool card definitely gives me a go with the flow energy. And so I feel like they would like that. They would like to go with the flow, like, and the natural rhythm of how this unravels for the two of you. And they're just, it feels like very clear communication. Like, this is somebody that's going to make it very clear what they want. Like, it feels like there's going to be no room for misreading something here. It doesn't feel like that at all. They feel very enthusiastic and eager to communicate this to you. And I feel like they're going to go, like, it feels like their energy is going to just be based off of how you're showing up in the situation. So if you show up hesitant about maybe opening up to this person, I feel like they're going to react to that in a way where it's like, okay, like, no rush, or, you know, take your time to consider things. Like, I feel like they definitely want to, like, test the water, see where you're at, see how you feel about this. But it's like, ultimately they would love to have a new beginning with you. But I think that they do realize that this is still in its, you know, baby phase, I guess. Like, it's still in its, you know, undeveloped phase, this connection. So it's like, yeah, it feels like we still have to build up to something, but this is my intentions, pretty much. Like, it feels like somebody's like, it feels like this sort of energy where it's like, well, it could be that the two of you start out as friends, and then build to something more, but it's like, I'm actually getting that. So maybe, like, it's possible that they're like, we can build to a relationship if that's what you want, or maybe we can build up to a friendship if that's what you want. I feel like they just really want to be involved in your life, and they want to give to you, and they want to let that be known to you, that they care about you, that they want to be in your life. But I feel so like a reasonable energy from them. They're not going to let their eagerness overwhelm the situation or make them do anything drastic, I guess. I find it very interesting that these two faces and these two women in these cards, they have very similar expressions. They're both looking at the thing that they hold in their hands. So the Queen of Cups is looking at her cup. The Queen of Pentacles is looking at her pentacle. I just wanted to make sure that we're still recording because my phone sometimes turns off. So it is possible that the two of you mirror each other. You both could be like focusing on things in your reality. There's like a lot of similarities between the two of you, maybe, and maybe they see themselves in you to an extent, and maybe vice versa. The other thing is, like, if these two cards are representing you, you seem very content with how things are in your life, and so maybe they feel a little bit of I mean, I'm not really getting that they feel like a sense of guilt for interrupting that, but yeah, I don't feel like that necessarily. I feel like they're just very aware that you're focusing on stuff in your life. They also see that maybe like you're very responsible with how you use your money or how you navigate your 3D reality and like your material goods and stuff. And then you're also like a master of your emotions. They could be seeing you as like working on your physical abundance and maybe your emotional well-being at the same time. They could find that very inspiring. You could be a huge inspiration to this person. I do feel a sense of admiration that they feel for you. They also could be trusting spirit. Maybe they don't usually, or maybe they don't. Maybe they struggle with trusting things at points, but it feels like they are in this energy, again, of like going with the flow. Like, yeah, sure, I have intentions and I have desires of what I would like out of this situation, but I'm cool to go with however it plays out or unravels, you know? Oh, interesting. So you could be reacting to this person as maybe you thought that they had options. So if this is the King of Wands that's showing up as this Fool card, I should say, not this Fool. That sounds maybe rude, but if it is the King of Wands that is showing up in this energy, and since the King of Wands clarified the Eight of Cups, maybe they did have options at one point, but they left them behind for you. But maybe you're fearing that this person has options that they're hiding. You may think that they're being dishonest or untruthful. You may think that maybe you feel like you can't trust this person because of that fear of them having options or the fact that they had options before. But I feel like it's fear-based. It's not necessarily true to the situation because their energy is showing up as very much pure intentions, authentic, genuine. I don't really feel that devil energy is maybe based in reality. It could just be a fear of yours because you may have a past of like people having options and lying to you about it, and so maybe as a result of that you're maybe a little bit hesitant to trust people, especially if you know that they either have the potential to have options or that you know that they have options. But I feel like this person realizes that they have to show up in the right energy for you because you, again, have a strong sense of self and you have a lot of self-knowledge about what you want. And I feel like, yeah, they kind of see you as somebody that has a clear path. And if they don't show up in the right energy that is in alignment with that path, that they are, you know, not going to stand a chance to impress you. Or, you know, yeah, to stand a chance at all. Especially if you have options, which it feels like you do. That Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Again, this feels like it's your energy. Like I feel this contentment within the self, and I almost feel like maybe usually people might think like, oh, I don't want to disrupt that, or, you know, I don't want to interrupt them doing good for themselves and feeling good and stuff. But I feel like for this person, they just find it very attractive that you're able to fulfill yourself and make yourself happy. And maybe they want to kind of give to that happiness more. Like I don't feel this sense of them wanting to take away anything from you. I feel this sense of just giving to this connection that they feel with you. I'm curious to see what's underneath that Nine of Cups. Three of Swords. So your independence could be as a result of you being hurt a lot. And maybe you're a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, maybe at this point in your journey, you're more comfortable being single than you are in a relationship because you've been hurt. And so maybe you kind of felt like you needed to build up all of that emotional contentment and happiness for yourself on your own. And it feels like, yeah, maybe you don't feel like you want to risk the happiness that you've built up for yourself and like throw it away for somebody that may not be what they seem. But I feel like that's the past hurt speaking, and maybe not necessarily true to how this person is actually showing up and what they truly feel and believe and all that. I'm gonna see what's underneath that Three of Swords too. Page of Swords. Yeah, so you're gonna be hesitant to accept anything right away, but I feel like that's reasonable. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna be a clear communicator though. If that is your hang up, or if you do have reservations or hesitant, you may be hesitant to accept this person. I feel like you're going to be honest with them. You're going to be real. I feel like you'll definitely communicate very clearly. And I feel like this is the type of energy that will understand. Yeah. I mean, they should understand anyways, you know? Because it's like if they're trying to come in and rush you into something before you have the proper time to think it over, that person is just not for you. But if they show up and they're eager, but yet willing to wait and be patient and go according to how you're feeling, I feel like those are green flags. And I feel like their flexibility will show them how much they care about you and truly care about you. Okay, I think let's break out the oracle, see what we get. Oh, jingle. Let's see, what do we have? Do you have anything to add to this reading? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything that the collective should know, or maybe advice, anything that could be helpful? That's too funny. Okay. Oh, this is too funny. Okay. Interesting. So we have darkest fears. Then we have flow. This is the funny part, because I think that I kept saying that Fool energy is go with the flow kind of energy. And so the universe probably is calling you to go with the flow a little bit too, especially if you're very fearful. Yes. So yeah, you, because of your past, you're fearful of new beginnings potentially, and you're afraid of being hurt again, similarly to how you have been in the past. But I feel like Spirit really wants you to try your best to overcome those fears and maybe realize that they are just fears, and your past does not need to repeat itself, and most likely it won't, especially if you've been on your journey for quite some time and you've been working on yourself, healing yourself, changing your mindsets, rewiring your brain. I feel like you're in a different place than where you were in the past, so you're not going to attract the same types of people, I don't think. And Spirit may be wanting you to kind of be reassured by that knowledge. You are much more enlightened, and like, look at this person's head. It's like glowing, radiant. So it's like your crown chakra, like your divine messages that are coming to you from Spirit. You're so much more connected to Spirit now, and so like your intuition will tell you if anything is off, if somebody's coming in disingenuously. And so I feel like, yeah, it's like Spirit wants you to kind of maybe acknowledge that fear, but also feed yourself with that message of it's just fear. Or if I'm afraid that the past is going to repeat itself, that's not necessarily true. And maybe trusting Spirit to guide you towards the people that are actually meant for you. But yeah, when it comes to those fears, maybe flow in the way of like, let those fears go. Maybe let your past go. Obviously easier said than done, but this could just be what Spirit is trying to encourage you to do. There's also like a message about following your heart, because your heart is going to know how you feel around people, especially with that intuition, the way you can pick up on people's energies. You will be able to tell who is true and who is not. Bottom of the deck is Love Abounds. Yeah. You're naturally attracting love into your life, whether it's with one of these people or not, whether it's on your own or not. You are surrounded by love and warmth. And you're in the perfect vibration for attracting love. Yeah. Like you're never alone as well. And you're never without love because Spirit loves you. And you know how to love yourself. So like, yeah, you're never truly alone, and you're never truly without love in your life. I really like that. I think that's beautiful. So maybe just trust that. Trust that you're protected. Trust that the right people, the right things are going to be coming in to you in the right timing. And that Spirit is going to protect you from the things that are not meant for you. Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think that's a perfect place to stop. So that is the reading. I really hope that you liked this, and I hope that it resonated. If it resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective, because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we could be a little bee family together. And if you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.